Good day, I am Shalame Kappa from Object M11. Today, we will be talking about Odysseus from Homer's Odyssey and Aeneas from Virgil's Aeneid and their epical journey. Odyssey is an ancient Greek epic written by the presumed author Homer. It is a sequel to the Iliad that tells the story of the king Odysseus and his journey after the Trojan War. King Odysseus wandered for 10 years after the Trojan War and tries to return home to his wife Penelope. Odysseus was held captive by the nymph named Calypso. While he was stranded on the island, his wife, together with his son, are dealing with mob suitor who assumed that he was dead. Odysseus longed to return to his family, and the gods of Mount Olympus debate for his future. His strongest supporter, Athena, resolves to help his son. Zeus sends Hermes to persuade Calypso to let Odysseus leave, and he sailed. However, the god of the sea Poseidon sent a storm to wreck his ship as Odysseus blinded his son, Polyphemus the Cyclops. But Athena saved Odysseus from Poseidon and brought him to Scheria, home of the Phaeacians, where he received a warm welcome. His host was stunned when he identified himself as Odysseus, and they begged him to tell his adventures, and in exchange, they promised a safe journey to Ithaca. Throughout the night, Odysseus tells the events that happened before he got stranded on Calypso's island. He recounts his encounters with different mythical creatures, such as the Lotus Eaters, conflict against the sea monster Scylla, his romance with witch goddess Circe, and his struggle with the Cyclops, and his temptation with the deadly sirens. As promised, his host returned him safely to Ithaca. Odysseus seeks for the hut of his loyal swineherd, Eumaeus. Then, he warmly welcomed him, even though Athena disguised him as a beggar. Odysseus encountered his son and reveals his true identity. Then, they devised a plan to ambush the mob suitors and regain control of Ithaca. Odysseus arrived to the palace disguised as a beggar, and the only person to recognize him was his old nurse. He endured the insults and the abuse of the suitors, though Penelope took interest in him and suspects that it might be her long-lost husband. Penelope is known to be quite cunning, so she prepared a contest for her suitors. The next day, she set up an arrow shooting contest, or archery, and prepared a marriage proposal to whoever can shoot an arrow through 12 rows of axes with Odysseus' big bow. This feat can only be accomplished by Odysseus. Odysseus steps up to the bow and fires an arrow through all 12 axes. He and his son, assisted by a few faithful servants, kill every last suitor. He revealed himself to everyone and reunited with his wife Penelope. Later on, Odysseus went to his elderly father, Laertes, to the outskirts of Ithaca. Laertes killed Antinous' father, the relative of the fallen suitor. Zeus sent the goddess Athena to bring peace to the land of Ithaca once again. Odysseus' long ordeal came to an end, with his power secured and family reunited. Odyssey has homecoming as the central theme. Odysseus' longing to return home drives the whole plot of the epic. Similar to other epic stories, the Odyssey possesses a hero who owns a great strength, who is Odysseus. Another theme of the story is also loyalty, which was shown by Penelope, Telemachus, his son, and Odysseus, as they were loyal to their family. Homer used various styles in the creation of the poem. It is written in formal and repetitive style. It also contains allusions of the Greek gods and goddesses, beliefs and people utilized are in the story. It is also using simile in writing the poem. For instance, when the hero entered the palace of Phaeacians, he compared Odysseus' approach to a traveler picking a fruit in a tranquil valley. It also contains many symbolisms that carry deeper meanings, like Odysseus' bow and arrow that symbolizes his kingship and skills. His skill to shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads means his unique power and identity. The Odyssey follows a structure which tells the journey of the hero Odysseus, of his departure, adventure, and return. The intervention of supernatural beings are also present in the story, like Athena's guidance to Odysseus and the encounter against other mythical creatures like Poseidon, Cyclops, and the Sirens. Another great epic poem is entitled Aeneid. Similar to the Odyssey, it sets the aftermath of Trojan War. The Aeneid is a Latin epic poem written by Virgil. Aeneas, the Trojan prince and the son of Aphrodite or Venus, was chosen by fate to lead a group of survivors away from Troy and build a new homeland. On the Mediterranean Sea, Aeneas traveled with his fellows and sailed for Italy. Aeneas was destined to find Rome, but as they neared their destination, a storm sent by Juno or Hera throws them off and diverted their course. His mother, Aphrodite, or Venus, intervened and guided him toward his fate. Twice they attempted to build a new city but sabotaged by plagues and bad omen. Aeneas and his crew encountered the Harpies, sent by gods to torment them, and has to deal with their curse before continuing their journey. They landed on Carthage, where Dido, the queen, welcomed them. They had a romantic relationship and lived together for a period of time until the gods reminded Aeneas to find a new city. Dido was devastated as Aeneas was determined to leave. She ordered a huge fire created using Aeneas' belongings and climbed above it, where she killed herself using Aeneas' sword. But before Aeneas' departure, Dido cursed and prophesied a future conflict between Rome and Carthage. As they set sail for Italy, bad weather blows them to Sicily. They held funeral games in honor of his dead father, Anchises, who passed away during their journey to Carthage. Aeneas arrived in Italy and descended into the underworld with the guidance of Cyril of Cumae to visit his father. He was shown the future history and heroes of Rome that made him realize the importance of his journey. After he ascended, they sat along the coast of Latium region. King Latinus received them with hospitality, hoping that he was the foreigner his daughter would marry, but his wife Amata had other ideas. Amata intends to wed Lavinia, their daughter, to Turnus, a local suitor. Turnus and Amata sow discord against the Trojans who have just arrived. A battle breaks out, resulting in multiple fatalities because of Ascanius' pursuit. Aeneas' son, to a stag that a shepherd kept as a pet for a while. Riding this wave of rage, Turnus starts a battle. At the river deity Tiberinus' council, Aeneas set sail north of the Tiber in search for military support among the surrounding tribes. His mother presented him a new set of weapons that Vulcan forged. While the Trojan leader was away, Turnus attacked. Aeneas discovered that Turnus murdered Evander's son, Pallas. He was enraged. The two sides agreed to a truce that they can be buried to them, and the Latin leaders discussed whether to continue the battle. They chose to suggest a hand-to-hand combat between Aeneas and Turnus in order to stop any more needless bloodshed. The leaders square up. The other men starts arguing, and the full-scale conflict starts again. After Aeneas sustained a high war, the Trojans eventually pose a threat to the adversary city. Turnus is severely injured by Aeneas as he rushes out to meet him. Turnus is about to be spared, but Aeneas kills him instead. The central theme of the Aeneid is journey, faith, suffering, duty, and the founding of Rome. Aeneas' journey was determined by fate that was in Rex's life. It was his fate to find Italy and build a new city, so it happened. Though characters can resist their destiny, it is useless because what must happen will happen. His duty was the foundation of his character to find a new homeland, and his sense of duty drives him to endure the hardships and suffering along the journey. The epic poem follows a traditional structure for an epic poem. It follows the hero's journey and includes divine intervention. Similar to Odysseus, Virgil begins the story with the invocation to the muse. Virgil employs epic similes, also known as Homeric similes, which are extended and elaborate comparison that enhances the imagery of the poetic quality of the narrative. Overall, the Aeneid focuses on the founding myths of Rome and Roman identity, while the Odyssey explores the journey and adventures of a Greek hero returning home after the Trojan War. Both epics are known for their literary excellence, enduring themes, and contributions to Western literature and culture. That's all for today. I'm Shalame Kappa from Object and